All right. Welcome to Mo2. We are two coaches, both named Maureen, who offer tips on life choices and how to deal with life challenges more calmly and efficiently. And today's topic is on public speaking.
Yeah, so public speaking. Mo, you just went through a course and did a final presentation. Do you want to share a bit of an experience about that?
Yeah, I'd love to actually. It was, I feel like I have to go back to the beginning where I signed on to this course because I wanted to have more practice and more tools to share with the people I work with. So I was thinking outside of me. And I also wanted to play with getting clearer on my own messaging. And I got so much more out of it. What this experience was, it really, there was a real community of support and teaching speaking in a way that I'd never really experienced it, and allowing for free flow to happen and for lots of confusion, lots of, I don't know what I want to say or do. And there was specific exercises to do to help clarify both the, writing exercises, thinking exercises, and coming back into my body exercises and using the power of the energy, that kind of uncertainty or fear, using that to help give guidance in what it was that I would talk about.
So harnessing the fear, we often label that sort of nervous sensation as anxiety or fear. So actually harnessing that as useful energy to help you zing your message.
Yes.
And you did, because I was there and I listened to you.
Thank you.
So just without getting into too much detail, I'm curious if you could just give a sense of where you were at the beginning and where you sort of ended up in terms of public speaking, because public speaking is one of the number one, well, it is the number one fear that most people have.
Yeah. Yes. And so at the beginning, I don't know that I was super afraid of public speaking. I've done it in various ways, but it's the clarity of what I want to say that often is my challenge. I get so many ideas and it's like what to do with them all and how to pare them down. And then that fear factor will come in and then it's like I'm paralyzed. I don't know where I'm going and I want somebody else to do it for me. And what this process did was it allowed all of that to happen and for me to really trust that I knew where I wanted to go. And it took me almost a full 6 months to get there. And through that process, I could say, it's okay, it will come. Just trust the process. This is your process. And that was so different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So where are you at with it now? Like, what do you do? What helps you?
What helps me? Oh my gosh. What helps me is, well, knowing that I have a community of support that is celebrating me and supporting me in a way that is really super, super generous and offering refinements in a way that is saying, you've got this. What you're already saying is fantastic. And I'd love to hear more of this or something more specific. So really offering something like that in a way that is it's a different approach. And now I've lost my train of thought. That
Well, so one of the things that was really helpful was to have a community that's supportive and helps you grow without knocking you down, because it's so easy for us to view things as criticism as opposed to, I'd love to hear more of this. And you could you could condense that down.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, thank you. And for that, because there is that really strong critical voice in my own head, that I started through the process to hear the supportive messages that I was receiving. And so what's beginning to happen, I still is my own voice is coming through, while at the same time I'm hearing the supportive voices of the others, and the refinements is, oh, as I'm looking at my own work, oh, and there, I wonder if that could be either uh, tighten up or in my own language, so that's how I speak it for me. And so yeah, community and specific support.
Well, and the other thing I heard you say is that it actually, if you surround yourself with people who are supportive of your growth, then it can actually change the self-critical thoughts inside your head. It doesn't make them go away, but it it gives you a different voice, if you want to call it that, to negate some of the self-critical voices.
Yes, and so there's a rewiring, and then when it gets really strong, that fear piece, the uncertainty, the critical voice, is to just breathe. For me, it's just breathing into it, allowing it. And sometimes I just ask, is there something that you want to be saying? So tapping into the energy within my body and giving it space to have voice. And that's been really fun to allow that. And sometimes it's just a really clear message that comes through. And it's like, wow, that came from here.
Yeah, because the body is often holding on to some kind of information that the brain isn't letting through, right?
Yeah.
And if we let that information through and actually consciously notice it, then who knows what will happen and what new ideas will come out. And that's pretty cool. And to do that when you're actually in the middle of speaking is very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so from the beginning to the end, the ability to tap into my own energy system, to my full body. And it's kind of like this welcoming it all. And how do you want to be presenting what it is that's important to be said?
Mm-hmm. And I would imagine that would would change your own presence, right? So you how we are perceived is more than the words that we say, right? It's our body language and all of those kinds of things. Uh, and and so if you tap into your body, I would assume that the the language that the body uses will change, and your persona on stage also changes.
Yes, absolutely. That quality of presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one more quick thing that helped me is to really remember why I'm saying what I'm saying, like what is my message, what was my talk, and who's it for? Like this, and thinking of it as I'm offering something to people who can benefit from what I have to share. And that was really another
Right. Yeah.
helpful thing.
So to trust that what you have to share is worthwhile to some group, and all you're
Yeah,
doing is offering it, and
yeah,
people can take it or leave it, right?
absolutely.
And you can't control anybody's reception of it. You can just control what you offer.
Yeah, yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. Thank you for, yeah, thank you for asking, Maureen. That's fun. And I really appreciate the opportunity to share a little of my experience.
Yeah, of the journey.
Yes.
And so, if people would like to get in contact with you,
Mo2
and
and you.
maureenmayhew.com.
Awesome. Thanks
Until
so
next
much.
time.